And his very
cool looking
first
guy
line was, "You, Kakarot, I choose you to be the first of my victims." We get his full backstory. And I put air quotes around it because it's just 2 minutes of Paragus yapping. All we learn is that
Z Broly fans, get up! You know what? I don't necessarily have a series in mind for this, but let me know if you guys want this to turn into a series. But I'm thinking about doing something along the lines of reacting to like a hate rant on every major Dragon Ball character. And I guess we'll start it off with this guy, man. The Ooga Booga legend himself, Z Broly. Someone wants to argue that Dragon Ball Z's Broly is the most overrated character in Dragon Ball fandom. To a degree, there's arguments to be made for it. Do I think objectively that he is? We'll find out later in this video. But I do think if he cooks the right way, he's gonna have a damning case. Let's find out what he says. Don't scare me like that.
With the Dragon Ball series being one of the most popular franchises of all time, it only makes sense that their characters would have similar popularity. Some of the main cast like Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan are pretty easily the most popular characters in the series. And it makes sense. Their second cast like Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan are pretty easy.
The top 10. Your list is already disqualified for not having My Glorious King at 1, but it's even worse that you picked Vegeta above him. Gohan at 3, that's fine. Goku Black, that's fine. Trunks over Whis Beer 17, Frieza. This is a hype beast ass list. This is a hype beast ass list. Future Trunks, Goku Black, and then the 3. Yeah, that's hype beast as hell.
The most popular characters in the series, and it makes sense. They're Saiyans. They typically get all the transformations, power-ups, etc. But even outside of the main Saiyan characters, Dragon Ball has some pretty notable antagonists with the likes of Cell, Frieza, and Majin Buu. All of these guys have distinct characteristics and memorable moments, making them fan favorites. But what happens when a Dragon Ball antagonist with all of these cool character traits is also a Saiyan? What you get is Broly from the Dragon Ball Z movies, and technically Goku Black and Turles, but we're ignoring them. Z Broly is
and Super Broly
the most popular non-canon character in the Dragon Ball series besides Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Super Gogeta. And even then, I'd say it's neck and neck between those three. Everyone loves Z Broly. This is the Broly.
Who do I think is more popular? I think Broly. As popular as GT is, I think more people, because a lot of people just blindly hate GT. Yeah, I'd say it's Broly. Yeah.
People want to remember. So in today's video, I wanted to look through this version of Broly and see why everyone loves him so much. And let's all remember, guys, this guy was in not 1, not 2, but 3. Count them, 3 movies, not just 1. A trilogy of Z Broly.
All I'm gonna say again, if he makes the right argument, his title cannot be seen as clickbait. It's just something you would agree or disagree with. He can also fuck up and make a horrible argument. I'm excited to hear what he has to say.
Surely all 3 of these movies are of the same quality, or at least close.
Let's do it.
I won't bore you guys with the entire synopsis of the movie, so I'll give you some brief context before we get to talking about the main guy. First thing in the movie, we see that the South Galaxy was destroyed by a Super Saiyan, and King Kai is rightfully pooping bricks right now because his galaxy is next. And may I say, this is an insane introduction to someone's character. It already puts them as one of the strongest threats in the series. Anywho, a Saiyan named Paragus randomly shows up to Earth to tell Vegeta that he's rebuilding the Saiyan race and that he should come to him to become the new king of New Vegeta. There's also some legendary Super Saiyan that only Vegeta can deal with. Clearly, this is a lie, but somehow Vegeta falls for all of this and goes with him. This of course causes the rest of the gang besides Goku to follow Vegeta to New Vegeta. Goku also learns of the legendary Super Saiyan in the South Galaxy and goes out to find him.
Yeah, I might say he just gets horny.
As we can clearly see, this man Broly is tweaking at the mere sight of Goku. From here, we learn that Broly was pretty evil throughout his entire life, even as a kid. Broly is destroying a city and laughing maniacally while doing so. This guy was so manic that his father Paragus needed to create a device to control him. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but Paragus is also evil and wants to use Broly as a part of his revenge plan. So Broly goes.
Paragus is objectively worse than Broly. I think everyone, if there's anything we can agree on, yeah, Paragus is objectively just worse.
Fight Goku because he just can't stand him being around, and from this fight alone, we can tell this guy has something different about him. Goku realizes this too, and then we all learn that Broly is the legendary Super Saiyan and destroyed the South Galaxy.
Kind of saw that coming a mile away even before that, but cool.
He jumps around from time to time without much of a smooth transition. The next scene, the movie kind of just jumps to the next day where Paragus reveals his grand plan, which is stupid and not worth mentioning, to be honest. Now, the first half of this movie was kind of mid and didn't really have much Broly. The second half is way better, as you're all gonna hear from me. And trust me, the downfall for Broly has yet to come. And I might as well get into this now. There's been some debates about sub versus dub for this movie, and to be honest, it really doesn't matter which one you watch. You get similar.
I hate you all, chat. No, but seriously, it doesn't matter though. Like, oh my, it does not matter. Thank you so much, bro. Like it genuinely doesn't. And the worst part is a person that watches sub or read the manga or whatever, they have those arguments kind of in a, like, I don't want to say dishonest way, but definitely a manipulative way, because they argue it thinking that the other person didn't see it in sub, so it really like fucks them up when someone who's seen both is like, yeah, gang, what are you talking about, the dub's fine. that's what really kicks their ass. It's just like, oh wow, what the fuck, what do you mean? I mean, I guess this isn't that bad. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you just fuck with them, but the entire time they just think that they've seen something you haven't, so hey gang, you're just missing out. No nigga, both are fine.
Enough plot from both versions. The only difference being the dub got different music during the fight scenes.
Right.
Anyways, Broly's transformation is iconic. He goes from yelling to laughing back to yelling with everyone in pure shock. They know they can't do anything about what's about to happen. Then to actually complete the transformation, he explodes into this brolic monster of a man. And his very first line was, "You, Kakarot, I choose you to be the first of my victims." Oh yeah, don't mind this little counter here. Imagine this beast of a man who's like 7 feet tall choosing you, of all people, not to be his first opponent, but his first victim. He then yells like a madman.
Nigga, define victim.
Starts showing off the fighting style only someone like Broly could pull off. And while Broly is terrorizing Goku and Gohan, we get his full backstory. And I put air quotes around it because it's just 2 minutes of Paragus yapping. All we learn is that
Z Broly fans, get up!
Broly didn't like Goku crying when they were in the nursery, and that Broly was really, really strong when he was born. I low-key think this part gets dragged because people be acting like this is the only thing that happened to Broly as a baby, when King Vegeta literally tried to murk him and his dad to keep his throne safe. Now, we can argue that Goku crying triggers PTSD for Broly, but that means we gotta assume that the writers were thinking that deeply when creating this character, and that's not something I would bet my money on at all.
Thank you. Thank you. You can't have something so surface level as like, hey gang, he just fucking hates the fact if you mention Kakarot's name or whatever the fuck. And crying and Kakarot's name triggers the PTSD from the crying scene. But it not be crying itself that triggers him, or two, he has no recollection or disdain towards Vegeta, who again stabbed him. It's so crazy to like I let Broly fans have this argument because it's really all they like bank on with the backstory shit, but it is such a I guess ass argument, and keep the pause in, editors, because it really is such a I guess ass argument. Like I'm gonna run it back again, but it's just so, I mean, possible ass argument. So
but that means we gotta assume that the writers were thinking that deeply when creating this character, and that's not something I would bet my money on at all. But yeah, Broly starts violating the Z fighters.
Like, nah, man.
I won't go into every single fight scene because we've seen approximately 12,038 videos on this fight already. I just want to go over some of the moments that show off Z Broly's personality, and trust me, there's a lot of them. For example, for like 20 straight minutes, Broly is trash talking all of the Z fighters.
Absolutely.
Breaks off of them. He actually talks quite a bit, contrary to popular belief.
Yep, that's easily the most underrated part, and even to a degree, I fell victim to this gaslighting. Yeah, no, Broly in this movie is actually one of the best shit talkers. Yeah, he has fantastic quotables, and then it turns out I watched the wrong one on my reaction. I went on to watch the Broly one with the cooler music, powers maximum, all the other shit. Yeah, all the other badass one lines and whatever. And yeah, Broly is, yeah, he's up there with the shit talkers. I'm not gonna lie, he's not Frieza, but he's up there with the shit talkers. Yeah, this is probably the most underrated aspect of his character in this movie.
Kakarot over and over again. Well, not yet, at least. He asked them straight up, do y'all think 3-on-1 is enough to beat me? Do y'all got the juice to beat me? Then like 3 seconds later, he pump fakes the Shamotions for no reason and blows up their planet and just says, whoopsie, my bad. And in the next fight scene, after putting Trunks out of the fight, he asks Goku, how much do you love your son? Which is one of the craziest threats I've seen in Dragon Ball.
Nah, that shit is crazy.
This is just being deranged. But hey, would you look at that? This Broly guy's not too bad. He's giving Goku a nice brotherly hug.
Nope.
Oh wow. Fast forward a bit, and Piccolo basically asked Broly why he felt the need to to throw an 11-year-old boy through a building, and Broly's response, I do what needs to be done. What do you expect from a true freak? He's a freak? Oh god, wait till Brody finds out about a After getting their butts thoroughly handed to them for about 10 minutes, Goku reasonably asked Broly for a handicap, because let's be real, they need it. But Broly questions him saying, is that another word for coffin? First off, I know he knows the definition of handicap, but number two, we all now know that this charge is going to be in the first degree because this is purely intentional.
Correct.
Oh yeah, and in the next scene, he tanks a point-blank Kamehameha. Let me say that again. He tanks the point-blank
niggas gangster as hell.
Palms Goku's head like a basketball and asks him, what was that supposed to be, Goku? Now, that doesn't seem crazy at first, but remember, Broly only calls Goku Kakarot, so he intentionally called him Goku to mock him. He also managed to break Vegeta's will to fight throughout the last half of the movie, and once Vegeta mustered up the courage to actually fight him, Broly
basically one-taps him
and says he's all bark and no bite. But the best moment of this entire movie is when that man Paragus tried to escape the planet because he couldn't control Broly anymore. Broly catches him in the act, and Paragus tries to lie to say that the pod was for both of them. But
nah, nigga. You following through.
For one person. He then proceeds to pick up the pod and crush Paragus to death. So for the past couple minutes,
Broly fans will sit there and argue all of these other things that they really don't need to argue. If you want to rank Broly high or rate Broly high in Dragon Ball fandom, just talk about how really fucking cool he is. And I understand that they cringe because that he is more than cool. Hey gang, that's fine. Put the fries in the bag though. If I had to explain to someone how Broly is a top 5 character in Dragon Ball, I'm just being arbitrary with the number here, I would easily just talk about how insanely cool the character is. It's not this there's a fat ass lemon on the ground. You picked it up, saw a lemonade stand, but the Broly fans want to make fucking apple juice. I don't know why, bro. Like, why are you trying to make pineapples, gang? Just squeeze the goddamn lemon, ball up top. This nigga's fucking cool. It's not even that hard. It's not that hard.
Broly has a personality in the first movie that's fairly entertaining. The counter for all of his trash talk isn't even accurate because I left out a lot of the lines. He's essentially like any other Saiyan but more sadistic. And even then, we already know how evil Saiyans work, so if they had Broly's power, I feel like it's possible that they'd act a little bit similar to him. So Broly seems to be an entertaining character that seems to be written well enough. Where did they fumble? Well, we haven't gotten to the conclusion of the movie now, have we? This feels like the turning point for Broly as a character. Goku starts getting the BS power up because the movie needs to end in 2 minutes, and Broly, after beating up Goku for like 20 minutes straight, begins to back up in fear? Then Goku just one-shots him with a singular punch? What? First off, isn't this like the same thing they did against Android 13?
Yeah, there's a lot to be said, and I get shit on it as I've reacted to the movies. Damn, we gotta hurry up and finish, right? But as I was reacting to every Dragon Ball Z movie, I get a lot of shit for calling it out, so I'll just rip the band-aid off in this video. Yeah, a lot of these Z movie endings are endings, if you know what I mean. And a lot of people don't want to hear that shit, but a lot of these movies are, again, endings. Y'all know I'm not a fan of the Trilogy ending. I'm not necessarily a fan. I love the idea of you Spirit Bomb Goku, but I mean, it just seems a little bit too hype beastie. Not too hype beastie, I'm sorry. It seems a little too fan servicey of a move for him to not even look that much different versus just being like absurdly stronger. Like at that point, fuck it. Make him look, make the aura around him crazy or some bullshit. I know that you guys are gonna call this the aura, but come on, y'all. Or like, what's another one? The way Lord Slug ends, if I remember correctly, was okay. It's just a lot of these, especially Broly. It's just a lot of the Z movie endings where I'm like, damn, in hindsight, they just did randomly say, fuck it, why not let it fly? Wrath of the Dragon's probably one of the most abysmal ones. And mind you, most of this involves my Glorious King. Y'all know I love my Glorious King. He's the embodiment of my joy. But it's just, especially Wrath of the Dragon, man. I wish they had Trunks obviously not kill Hirudegan before someone gets mad, but definitely be a bigger factor in how Goku could land the Dragon Fist. Like maybe he weakened him with some memory or some trick or something like that. Like Trunks needed to be a major part of that. Trunks and Tapion needed to be a major part of the ending, not Goku just hitting with a Dragon Fist, even though it's arguably the coolest moment in all the movies.
A different flavor, but more
that shit is fucking cool. I will admit that.
Villain thing can almost never work, especially in a movie setting. You can't just show the heroes getting beaten up with no counterplay the entire movie, then
and in one tap GG's.
At the last minute. This is borderline character assassination or something. All of his credibility as a villain is gone now, and this matters because we still have 2 movies to go in the trilogy.
Yep.
Second Coming is, how do I say? trash.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
not just saying that for the video either. The movie is genuinely bad. Go rewatch it if you think I'm lying. Now, the first scene of the movie.
Oh, we did. Oh, I did. My brother. Proceed. Proceed.
How the heck did he live? Why is he alive? What compelled them to make another Broly movie? Oh, I see.
Thank you. And for some people, they're gonna depict this video, in my opinions, as far as Broly hate. I pray that that's not the case. I'm just reserving my opinion to the latter end of this video. But come on, gang, the nigga lived. like, come on, man.
Let me not be nasty. We knew they'd bring Broly back. He was just too popular. But
Yeah.
that's besides the point. Broly shows up like 20 minutes into this movie. And the movie only runs for about 50, which means for the first 20 minutes, this movie is following Goten, Trunks, and Videl. There is simply nothing relevant to talk about.
Whoa. You losing your light. Don't ever do that again, my boy. Hey, look. You could talk about Trunks. You could talk about the shoulder guy. But what about Videl? Don't ever do that.
His arrival. The trio are in some random village while they are trying to find the Dragon Ball.
No, but the first 20 minutes of this movie is dog shit. That's just like this literally has nothing to do with Broly for the first 20 minutes. It's just random dog shit. I actually hate it.
He doesn't help the crying allegations because they always show Goku crying as a kid to show a distressed Broly. Anyways, we see more Super Saiyan Broly action in this movie rather than him being in Legendary Super Saiyan like he was in the first movie.
This is what I kind of was referring to earlier when I said if the PTSD thing was going to be an effect, it would be crying, not the name Kakarot. It just objectively makes more sense. But just a thought, but okay, ball up top.
The blue hair that he had in the first movie is gone. I know it's because of the mind control or whatever, but it made him stand out more. It gave him more aura, to be honest, too. And his first fight of the movie,
yeah, it was missed. I'll admit that.
The first opponent he fought in the first movie was Goku. This time, it's Videl. Not a good look at all. Wanna know what else is a bad look?
Whoa. Buddy, you're almost gonna get a diss like you disrespect my main character one more time.
From Super Saiyan Bro, this moment makes A, Videl look stronger than she actually is, B, make Broly look like less of a threat, or C, both. He starts fighting Trunks and Goten for like 10 minutes, which just gets lame at a certain point. If he was trash talking like he was in the first movie, it'd at least be bearable to watch, but watching Broly beat up kids is just kind of mad. Also, we find out that the punch Goku hit Broly with in the first movie gave Broly a multitude of head injuries because this man got some type of CTE. He only yells Kakarot, literally only yells Kakarot through the entire movie. He doesn't speak any other English. He sees Goten, he yells Kakarot. He sees Gohan, he yells Kakarot. Oh yeah, Gohan's around, by the way. One of the highlights of his fight versus Trunks and Goten was getting peed on. One of the highlights was getting peed on. Yes, you heard that correctly. We go from beating up the main character to getting peed on by a child. What a fall from grace. Oh my gosh. Anyways, Broly does a big blast. Gohan pulls up and Broly transforms in. Wait a minute. Is that the exact same transformation from the first movie?
This guy did his homework. Hey, this guy's good. He's doing it in a way where you can't kill him. He's just telling you what happened. You can agree or disagree with some of the takes he's having, but he's just telling you what happened. Yeah, what are you gonna do, man? I called it out when I saw it too, Chad. I was like, this is the same exact background, animation, and everything. Wow.
Come on, bro. Like, I know it was a good transformation and it seems nitpicky, but bro, it's the exact
it's not
thing.
Nitpicky, man. Also, it's not nitpicky because at some point it is turning into a fuck you, and this is my problem with Dragon Ball fans sometimes. I feel like really any fandom, anime fandom has this issue, but especially Dragon Ball fans among most other ones. Dragon Ball can get away with a lot of bullshit, and a Dragon Ball fan will sit there and defend it because it's Dragon Ball. Gang, I love the series. It's still my favorite anime despite all the anime I've been put on to. Dan, One Piece, Bleach, rewatching Naruto a billion jillion times. We might tap into Boruto. My Hero, I just caught up with that. Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter, I might say is my like bestest one. I think I like that story and power system the most. But my favorite is forever going to be Dragon Ball. I fuck with the characters more from top to bottom. However, one thing that I wish the Dragon Ball community was more cool and accepting of is when, hey gang, they just sold us some bullshit here. And this movie is kind of the epitome of, hey gang, they sold us some bullshit here, because the entire time, here's a character who's not nearly the same character that you thought he was, but yet the entire movie they're trying to call back to that said character. Like, any moment in time Broly does something cool, it's similar to the cool shit he did in the first movie. And I know you're like, oh, so you want him to be completely different? No, I don't want him to be completely different, but I don't want the exact same move pool with the exact same transformation, and especially not him saying the exact same word the whole goddamn film. Hell no.
The green hair is gone too, even though it felt like his hair was green.
Because it's legendary.
My theory is that the Budokai series and all the other Dragon Ball fighting games were already under works, and they needed extra animations for a Broly character, so they just had to force out another Broly movie. Broly starts to fight Gohan. The fight is kind of mid, to be honest. It's just a lot of grappling, with the highlight being demonic playtime. What kind of image is this? Look at the angles of Gohan's arms. They are not supposed to be bent at an angle like
his
that.
fight with Goten and Trunks is somehow better.
Rada, Broly lives. Rada. Gohan says he's had enough. And Broly says what he usually says in this movie.
Not until you lie dead at my feet.
Hello?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you got your like back. You got your like back, because I called this out too. And maybe I'm part-time narcissistic, I don't know. But like, this was my exact reaction. I literally was like, oh, what the fuck, he can talk? And I think there's a clip of, I think I reacted to this on stream. My chat was like, he talks? Like, the whole movie, he's dead ass, like, chat. Dead ass, comment section, dead ass, Kakarot, and then he just has a line of dialogue. Where the fuck did that come from?
You can talk?
So this man could talk the entire time,
Which makes it so much worse. I don't know if he's gonna say that, but the fact that he could talk and he chose to only say Kakarot makes it that bad.
just yelling Kakarot? Alright, bro. You know that one kid in class who doesn't do anything for the entire period, but has to participate so they say something somewhat related to the topic? That's second coming, bro. It's not even like the line was that good, but geez, we could have used more of that at least. Anyways, family Kamehameha, Mercs them go burr, yay.
Another stupid ending. Side note.
From fighting full-fledged warriors to fighting children and teenage girls, from getting
Honestly, a horrible ending.
on to getting CTE to getting baked yet again. This movie was really the mark for Broly being ruined as a villain, and we still have one more movie to go.
Not too much. This is peak.
Broly. There's not even a Gohan in the movie.
I'll never forget. Most of my community was on timing and said this movie sucks. I'll never forget like the couple of people in my chat and in the comment section that were trying to cape for this movie, and then when we finally did rewatch it, they were like, "Ah, you got me." like there was a subsection of people that were like, "Bro, this movie not even that bad for real." When we watched it live, those same people, I'm not saying there's not gonna be a person in this comment section that will go on and act like this movie's underrated for some reason, but every person that said that when we watched the movie, they were the same people. They were like, "Hey Sage, nah." That shit was hilarious.
So rocking out with Goten, Trunks, 18 Krillin, and Hercule. This movie doesn't even feel real when you watch it. It feels like a fever dream. It doesn't even feel like a Broly movie. They kind of just made a bio monster and incorporated Broly somehow. I should add that this is a clone of Broly, not the real him, but you know his name is in the title, and this is technically a trilogy, so we're holding it against Z Broly as a whole. Sorry, and this movie is disgusting work, both figuratively and literally. They brought Broly back just to cover him in sludge and make him fight kids again. I don't know what y'all want me to say. It's just a freaking sludge monster. This infuriates me just looking at this. Look, this was Z Broly in the first movie, and this is Z Broly in his last movie. This movie don't deserve a summary, rant, or anything.
Show it.
Just cheeks. Also, the last scene of this movie low-key suggested that Goku and Pikkon were gonna go after Broly in the afterlife, so I guess there was gonna be another Broly movie. Good thing that was shut down quickly. I don't know what I would be doing with
Thank God.
myself if I knew there were 4 Z Broly movies out there. How dare they try to make another Broly movie? What the what? Dragon Ball Z Broly is that one player who has a really good first quarter, then plays bad for the rest of the game, yet they somehow get credit for having a good game. When
Oh my God.
They're only talking about like 30 minutes in the first movie when he had 2 other garbage movies in the trilogy. This guy was progressively losing aura as the trilogy went on, and they kept going making Broly content. Broly didn't deserve this, man. They had a pretty good concept for a villain and decided to ruin him with unnecessary appearances. Imagine if Broly actually had good treatment in the series. Oh, you're saying that they made a movie about him in Super? Oh, okay, yo, yeah, that's good. Yo, we done with Z Broly, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Look, shout out to the video, man. That was actually pretty entertaining, man. Shout out to I don't know how to say your name. Alamasa? Salam alaikum? Malaikum salam, brother. Anyways, all shit aside, for me personally, do I think the Z Broly is the most overrated Dragon Ball character? Suspenseful music in the background here, editors. Nah, he's not. He's not. I think as annoying as Z Broly fans can truly be, no, he's not. I think for a character to be disgustingly overrated, they have to have no value. And I think everyone accepts that Bio Broly is not good. You have your contrarians, but come on. Everyone accepts that Second Coming, for the most part, a little bit more contrarians, is not good. So when we're having these discussions, they're typically talking about this small sample size of Broly, and maybe that in itself does go, Sage, he's overrated because you can't have a bad faith argument. Fair enough. That is a fair point. But for me personally, I wouldn't say that Z Broly's overrated. I think his backstory is starting to somehow become overrated, because a lot of people, for the most part, viewed it as just like the TFS meme, but then you have the people that are trying to dive so much context into it, and you just wouldn't understand, and it's just like, gang, they did not do all that for Broly. Hence why they rewrote the fucking character. Anybody who's like, nah, Sage, you're tripping, niggas don't overrate Z Broly backstory. All I did was search Z Broly backstory because I was going to include a reaction to that if it was like less than 5 minutes or something like that. And I found a Reddit, and DBZ Broly's story is more deeper than Super Broly if you understand Saiyan race, nature, and legendary Super Saiyan, harsh past, PTSD, split personality disorder, etc. It's funny that people say Z Broly had a bad backstory, then praise Super Broly for having a good one, when his character is basically a Hulk copy type shit. Z Broly has PTSD from his past and split personality due to the power of being the LSSJ. Saiyan babies have great memory that they are sent. Saiyan babies have great memory that they are sent to. Okay. Why do you type it like that? Anyway, bro, by the way, more deeper is also crazy. Broly hates Goku because he reminds him of the day of being stabbed. He remembers Goku's ki and hearing the name Kakarot's baby. When he first met Goku as an adult, he sensed his ki triggering his PTSD, reminding him of that day. Goku is the link to the pain he felt as a baby. It's not that Broly blames Goku for what happened, but Goku triggers it. Type shit, basically. So they'll write something like that. It's just like they did say more deeper. And I'm just like, gang, I hear you, but like, when the nigga grew up and had Unk there, hey gang, Vegeta did that shit. I'm for Kakarot, I suppose, being a trigger word, I guess. Hey, we out here, man. Hey, that's my exact feeling on that shit. Like, I hear you. What he's saying isn't entirely like, you know, it's just like headcanon. It's just like you're making a lot of assumptions to connect dots, gang. I don't know what to tell you. I think Broly's backstory is in the pendulum of overrated and underrated. And maybe that's something that we could discuss. But in terms of the character, no, he's one of the coolest in this series. Do I think Super Broly's cooler? Hot take, yes. A lot of people cook me for that. So there you go. Have fun cooking in the comment section. But I definitely don't think that Dragon Ball Z's Broly is the most overrated character in Dragon Ball, because he just simply put has the aura, gang. And a lot of characters don't got that. There's too many characters that when you really rewatch them don't have any aura whatsoever, and the community puts on a pedestal. The community lets them get away with shit just because you're supposed to like them. Or in like a character like Bojack's case, for example, who I do think is overrated, you like the person that he fought, so therefore he's a good character too. No, Bojack sucks. He's a very forgettable villain. He just has your favorite protagonist of all time fighting him for 5 minutes at that. Because the rest of the time, hate to be blunt, Gohan weren't that cool. Trunks was low-key the coolest character in that movie. Anyway, subscribe for more hot takes. Subscribe for more controversial takes. Who do you think is going to end up being the most overrated character in Dragon Ball Z? To my opinion, at least. Let alone who do you think is the most overrated character in Dragon Ball Z on your end? If you guys want me to react to more hate character videos, let's do it. But take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you next time. Shout out to Z Broly, though, man. Cool guy.